Greetings. Imagine 1 million Christians registration exercise. Christians coming together and putting their names in one register in this great society of Christian Nation Partner Society, which is in Zambia. 1 million Christians subscribing to one cause, coming together to end poverty. What are the characteristics of poverty? It's what is in the Gospels when we read in Matthew chapter 25, I was hungry and you fed me. I was sick and you came to visit me. I was thirsty, you gave me to drink. I was naked, you clothed me. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was in prison and you visited me. When the Christians read the final examination, that I call it the final examination, they look to themselves and say, we are going to do just that. But who can feed the hungry unless you had the resources, unless you had the money? You see, the reason, the sole purpose for wealth is for this very reason, which we read in Matthew chapter 25. If you are rich, is to enrich other people's lives. Money is like honey unless it is put in the mouth and you taste the sweetness and benefit from the carbohydrates, the energy that it will give you. When people have been traveling for a long distance in the bushes, in the forests, they come across honey. Honey is sweet. It is like coming across food. And you just needed very little honey and it gave you the energy to continue. You see, God had already created the way out for those that are hungry. Christians, according to Christian Nation Partner Society, are not looking at themselves as people who move with little food to give to the hungry. They are looking to themselves as the food producers. They envision that they are going to be the farmers. They are going to be the textile industry. They're the ones to build hospitals to care for the sick. If Christ really was expecting that we would visit him in the hospital, the best is to build him a hospital when he gets sick so that we will be the one present as medical doctors, even to pray for the sick. The current way of doing things is that if you take prayers in the hospitals, they might say, well, this is not the visiting hour. Why? Because Christians have disconnected themselves to that which they are supposed to be part of. You go to the hospital and they tell you, well, you haven't paid, you don't have any scheme, and so you cannot be treated. Christians should be there first and foremost to treat. The money aspect should have been flowing everywhere. So when we are talking about 1 million Christians registering, we are trying to look to ourselves for this provision. This is a vision which puts us on a mission, the mission of Christ. And provision will be given to us. When it comes to provision, God has told us that provision is from within. God is not going to provide it to us. When he sent the apostles, 72 of them, the disciples of Christ, when Christ sent them on a mission, he said, don't carry anything. Now, God is going to be the provider through the families that they are going to live in. If they welcome you, God was going to be ahead to prepare people to welcome those that were on a mission. And he says, a prophet should enjoy the fruit of their prophecy. So what is this 1 million registration? You see, when you have 1 million kwacha, you have a kind of status, you are referred to as a millionaire. The poor must collectively be called millionaires. You cannot continue to be called a poor person. If 1 million poor people would put together their 1 kwacha into one account, into a joint account, into this society's account, they are going to raise 1 million in an instance. Is it an instant? So we are saying, let the 1 million Christians here, especially around Lusaka, put their monies together. I'm asking my reverend pastors to raise this exercise in your churches. Talk about 1 million registration exercise, Christians coming together. You see, this is going to be a breakthrough for our radio station. One of it is that you can come and preach and you'll be heard without any interference because of poor quality of sound, poor quality of software, because of lack of staff. Imagine 1 million Christians making a donation and putting it into our radio station. Just one of them. Imagine 1 million Christians donating 1 kwacha each to raise money for that church which you are constructing. You see, the SDAs cannot do it on their own. The Roman Catholics cannot do it on their own. We have seen how projects go on and on as doing fundraisings, working. And yet there are 1 million Christians that can just put 1 kwachas together and the fundraising will be 1 million instantly put into an account. The secret is provision is us, ourselves. Provision is not from heaven. The Good Samaritan was not dropped from heaven. It was a man who was using the same route that the Levite, the priest, used. But he had some money. And that is how God is providing for these 1 million Christians who are registering. They are coming with their 1 kwachas. And in the second instance, we are going to ask the 1 million registered Christians and ask them, is this the only money that you can afford to put in? You see, more attracts more. 1 million will attract another 1 million. And so when you reach the mark of being a millionaire, you begin to multiply in millions. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. And 1 times 0 is equal to 0. When you multiply something times 0, you get rid of whatever you have. Christians have got the capacity to come together. And that's the gift that we have. And so why don't we put this gift into use? Provision. So God has revealed to us that there are 4 words which we have to start playing around with. It's vision. We have a vision. I'm sharing you the vision. The vision puts us on a mission. What is the mission? The mission is that which we have received. When we have a mission and we begin to move together, provision comes from within, from the people who are on the mission. We begin to raise money from ourselves. We don't ask anybody to give us anything. The first thing is to be on a mission in numbers. Then commission will come. What is commission? Commission can be the salary of a pastor. Imagine the 30 pastors that I have at Christian Nation FM radio station. I have more than 30 pastors that are preaching every day to us. And supposing we asked 1 million Christians to make an offering, 1 kwacha every day for Pastor A, and then second day for Pastor B, until we take 30 days, making an offering of 1 kwacha per Christian, putting it into the account of the 30 pastors, will have made our pastors millionaires. Now look, why did the first Christians say, let us focus on the word? Why? Because they discovered that there was too much which was coming from the collection. They started counting money the whole day. The provisions were just overflowing. And so they said, in order for us not to be distracted, let us choose one amongst us who is filled with the Holy Spirit. When did you, as a pastor, felt there was too much coming, other than the opposite? If there were 1 million Christians whom we registered under this auspices of Christian Nation Partner Society, and they made an offering of 1 kwacha a day, which is 30 kwacha per Christian, would make our pastors forget about talking about money, tithing, and they would focus on the Word of God. They would focus on serving the community. If there are 1 million Christians in Lusaka who are tuned in, tapped in, and tucked into Christian Nation FM radio station, and then we can buy more transmitters, the government would come on our side, because this is a point of uniting the nation. Which government wants a disunited country? Christians are key to uniting the nation. And we're talking about Christians that understand the economics of oneness. You see, the enemy in their camp, they laugh at us that we are so powerful but economically very weak. That we are the poorest, and yet in each one of us carry a nuclear weapon against the enemy. The power of oneness and the numbers. The majority in Zambia are Christians. How can the majority be ruled by the minority? It's because we have not come together economically. And so I encourage you, my brother, my sister, send your names to that number. Registration this time is very free. Simple. Your family, the entire family, you register with this Christian Nation Partner Society. The number is 0971 137885. It is there on the screen. 0971 137885. CNPs, CNFM. We believe that we can pray, we can play, and we can plow. We play our roles in the economy to end poverty. Poverty is something that we can cast out when we come together economically. With the little that we have, each one of us, it will translate into 1 million. Jesus asked the apostles, give them something to eat yourselves. And they looked around and they could only find 5 loaves. You are talking about thousands to be fed, and you only have 5 loaves. I'm talking about 1 kwacha. And what we can do with 1 kwacha is 1 million kwacha. 1 million kwacha can set up a simple industry. 1 million can make an investment. And consistently, 1 million investments will attract millions and close to 1 billion. Christians have got the power to change the economies of this world. Imagine the Catholic Church. It has 1.34 billion Catholics all over the world. Supposing the Pope asked 1 Christian to put into the Vatican Bank $1, the Pope would raise in a month or in 1 day $1.34 billion. And if all the Catholics can do that in 30 days, Zimbabwe will be out of poverty. They would begin to move all the African countries out of debt. We need much more than a spiritual father in the Pope. We need an economic father. The bishops, all the churches, the mother bodies, we need to come together economically. The message of unity for a purpose, and for a purpose is to end poverty. And we don't end it by begging. We end it by making contributions. That is how the first Christians did it. They never asked from anybody. They looked to themselves for their answers. I'm raising this exercise. 1 million Christians registering into 1 register. and asking them, go to a Kantemba, go to Airtel Money and put 1 kwacha as a demonstration that when we're 1 million, we can raise 1 million kwacha. And then we can raise 10 million kwacha. There are more than 19 million Christians in Zambia. 95% of Zambia's population are Christians, meaning we are 19 million Christians. Can't all the 19 million raise 19 million kwacha? What can't we do with 19 million kwacha? We can invest it for Christians. Now, when we talk about Christians, we are talking about the Good Samaritan. Christians do not look to them, do not only help Christians, they will help anybody else. So we are talking about the nation. May God bless you as you begin to think about 1 million Christian registration exercise. 1 million Christian registration exercise. 1 million Christian registration exercise. Ciao.